Hey guys, it's Blaze here. I'm back with a report on the Indianapolis Regional that I went to yesterday. I played Agents, obviously, because I posted my deck profile earlier this week. It didn't really change all that much except for like one or two cards because I was borrowing them and I couldn't get a hold of them. I went 6-1-1, tying first round with Plants. Made top 8 and then won my top 8 match against Worms, so I made top 4. I'll go over my matchups after I go over the deck, just so people can see it. If you really want like an in-depth analysis, you can watch my video before this. I'll just explain cards a little bit. I played 3 Earth, obviously. Didn't have a problem there. 3 Venus, still probably the engine of the deck. And then the 3 Shine Ball. I drew these quite a bit, but it doesn't hurt that much because I'm playing 3 Herald of Orange Light, so I can just pitch them to the graveyard. And I usually, depending on what I'm playing against, I'll side one out. I played 3 Hyperion, one of the best cards in the deck. A lot of people had problems getting around this card. It was definitely like the big boss monster for me other than BLS. Not much to say there either. 3 Orange Light. I was playing 2 and 3 Max C, but I swapped them because I couldn't get a hold of a third Max C. Because I only have 1 and I was borrowing 2, but somebody needed 1 back, so I ended up playing 3 Herald of Orange Light. It wasn't bad. I sided them out a lot, along with these 2 Christia that I main decked, because they're inconsistent after game 1, and I like to side and stun. And so it's hard to get the 4 fairies in the graveyard. I think I dropped Christia maybe like 2 or 3 times the whole tournament, but I also wasn't drawing him. So, I mean, it wasn't bad, because I don't play him after game 1. 1 Honest helped a lot. 3 Tour Guides with the Sangan. This card was broken. The Zen Mains is amazing. A lot of people can't play around that card. Use it to defend until I can get my plays off. I played 2 Tragodia, which wasn't the greatest. It was okay. I sided them out a lot. I didn't plan on siding them out, but the further along the day went, the more I didn't like them, because I would draw them with like 1 or 2 cards in hand, so I would still main them just because of their good early game, but I don't know. Gores was awesome. I played 1 Spirit Reaper, which everyone was maining at least 1 to 2 of these, so a lot of my matches went into time because of it, and I discarded a lot of cards out of people's hands with it too. 1 BLS, obviously. The 2 Max Cs, this is a proxy. That's it for the monsters. And then spells, I played 2 MST because I don't like 3 right now, because a lot of decks aren't running a whole lot of back row, so I sided the 3rd one. Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, which I got Starlight Roaded once and lost that game. But other than that, Heavy Storm was amazing. In my top 8 match, I opened with it and he set 2, so he pretty much lost instantly. Mind Control, which will probably get banned. And then for the traps, I played 2 Warning, Torrential, and then the best trap card in my deck all day was Dimensional Prison. I think I deprisoned like 4 or 5 Stardusts game 1, and a whole bunch of Catasters. Like, I was drawing this a lot, and people didn't expect it. And then Trap Dust Shoot, which I did not draw the whole day, not once. And I got Trap Dust Shooted first turn like 3 or 4 times and still won those games. And then for the side deck, I played Double Thunder King. I didn't have room to main them, and they didn't go well with the Christia and Herald of Orange Light strategy, but game 2 and 3, they were really good. Cyber Dragon, this might be my favorite card in the side deck. I love the aggressiveness of the card, like drop Cyber Dragon and then play an Earth, get your Venus or whatever, and then you can Synchro. There's a whole bunch of plays with it. Plus you can go into Chimera Tech with this and Zen Mains, and I didn't play against Curries, but it would have been great there. I played 1 Doom Caliber Knight, which I sided in a lot, but I only saw it once against Gravekeepers, and it won me the game because they had a spy face down. DD Crow, I hate this card. I didn't side it once because plants always side out their plant stuff, and I didn't play any other decks that would be useful against, so I mean, I still have to play it, obviously, but it was a waste of space. The 3rd MST, I played 1 Smashing Ground and 1 Leeching the Light. I was playing 2 Leeching the Lights, but I like these 2 instead. Leeching the Light, I played 2 mirror matches, and I drew it once, and it won me the game in time. The Smashing Ground was really good. I sided it in a lot. 2 Fiendish Chain, which is the best card in my side deck, definitely. I played against 4 plants and 2 agents, so there was only 2 other games where I didn't side them in, but just amazing. And then the 2 Bottomless I sided in a lot, game 2 and 3, and they were really good. I didn't play any Rabbit, and it still didn't really matter. And then I played 2 Shadow Mirror. I did not play any Dark Worlds at all. I played 1 Gravekeeper and I lost because they Royal Attributed me for 5 game 1, and then game 3 they opened it also. But I had Shadow Imprisoning Mirror game 2, and it completely wrecked them. And then for the extra deck, I played 1 Gachi Gachi. Went into this at least once every match. Zen Mains, which is amazing. Leviathan, which was useful. Leviair was really useful. I did not go into Utopia once. Armory Arm I went into 3 or 4 times, and it was to get over Tengus and stuff as my last option, and I also equipped it to Spirit Reapers a lot, so it was a good addition. Catastor I went into a couple times. Android was probably the MVP of my extra deck because I got above 10,000 against a plant player because he could not do anything to it, and I used it in combo with Honest 2 or 3 times. Somebody Leeching the Light at me, and then I had Honest because I went into this instead of Catastor, so it was definitely good. Didn't Synchro into Brionic once, didn't go into Black Rose once, or Ancient Fairy Dragon. I wanted this to be Ancient Sacred Weavern, but I couldn't find one before the tournament, so I just put this in because it's still good against Rabbit. I could have went into a 7, but I didn't. If I would have had Ancient Sacred Wyvern, I would have. Stardust, I didn't go into once. Scrap Dragon, I didn't go into once. Trishula, I went into twice, and once it got warninged, so it wasn't that great. Chimera Tech, I didn't use once, but I still like to have it. So that was the deck. For my matchups, first round I played against Plants. I lost game 1, and then I won game 2, and we were siding for game 3, and time got called, so it was a tie. Round 2, I played a mirror match of sorts. He was playing Defissure and Cards from the Sky and Miraculous Descent and everything, so it was a different type of agent build than mine, but it was still agents. I lost game 1 because I opened all of my cards that go to the graveyard. I opened Christia, Herald of Orange Light, Maxi, and he opened with Defissure, and it was just, he won pretty quickly. And then I won game 2 pretty quickly because of my side deck. Game 3, we went into time because I had Spirit Reaper, and I ended up winning by 400 because of a Leeching the Light play over a Hyperion the last turn of time. And then round 3, I played against GK. Obviously, I said game 1 he Royal Attributed me for 5 cards, so I lost that instantly. And then game 2, I won because of Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Game 3, he Royal Attributed me first turn, and I still almost came back. I ended up drawing a Cyber Dragon, and I hit him with it 4 times and got him down to 17. And then he finally drew an out to it, so I couldn't do anything. So I lost there. So I was 1-1-1 at that point, and I knew I had to win out to get top 8, which I did. Round 4, I played against 6 Sams. Game 1, he went into Barkion, Beast, and Sheehan by turn 2, and just completely destroyed me because he opened up Gateway, Dojo, United, and Rhoda. There was nothing I could do. Game 2, I won. In Game 3, I won because of my side deck, really. It wasn't that hard after that. Round 5, I played against Plants. I won Game 1, pretty easy. Game 2, he got a Trisha the playoff, so I lost. And then Game 3 was the Magical Android one where I got over 10,000. He really couldn't do anything. Round 6, I played against Plants, and it was a friend from Locals. I 2-0'd him. I drew BLS both games early, and I got to play them because of Tour Guide and Venus and everything. It just wasn't really close. Round 7, I played against 6 Sams again. In Game 3, he got me down to 500 when he was still at 8,000, and then I top-decked BLS, and he had no out to it. It won the whole game. And then Game 2, I beat him pretty easy. And then Round 8 was a mirror match. I won Game 1 even though he had complete card advantage on me because I OTK'd him in one turn with double Hyperion, and he had no ways to stop it, and then Game 2 wasn't even close. And then in top 8, I played against Worms, and he said that I was the only person the whole day that knew how to play against his deck because I didn't have to read any of the cards or anything, and I knew how to play around his combos. I opened up Heavy Storm Game 1 when he had 2 back row and a set monster, so I Heavy Stormed and he couldn't do anything, and then I summoned Venus and went into Gachi Gachi, and I had a Herald of Orange Light in my hand, and I negated his guy, and he pretty much scooped from there. Game 2, he got me. It was really close, and then Game 3, I chained a Herald of Orange Light to kill his monster off a Nebula, and he lost all card advantage, and then I Hyperion'd his face downs from there, and he couldn't do anything. So that was my matchups. Like I said, I really like the deck. I still think it's one of the best decks of the format. It got even better when Zen Mains was released. I played against 4 Plants, and I didn't lose to any of them, and everyone thinks that's the best deck of the format, which it probably is, but I still prefer Agents because of its power and aggressiveness, because that's how I play. None of my friends really, Kyle he was playing Lightsworn and started 5-0, but he lost 3 in a row. He still got his invite because we had top 24. He got 24th exactly, so congrats to him. I guess give a shout out to Eric Johnson. He was judging. He did a good job. He let me borrow his in-mains, so thanks to him. And then I don't think I borrowed any other cards except the tour guides aren't mine. They're Josh Dickerson and Zach Deffenbaugh's, so thanks to them. And my girlfriend is collecting the card Acorno, so if anybody has any, let me know. I'll trade small for them or give them to me for free, hopefully. But that's the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe.